Alrighty folks, welcome to another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. More Strixhaven, I guess. And then maybe I make a sealed video if I'm able to accumulate enough wins. And again, try to hope to stay away from Witterbloom and Lorehold, since they're just pretty bad colleges. But if I do open some bomb rares in those colleges, I'll try to lean towards it. But I think Witterbloom could just be the worst college, even worse than Lorehold. But we'll see. Alright then, pack one, pick one. What do we have the fine pleasure of opening? Strixhaven draft. Ooh, okay. I don't mind just forcing Silverquill. This card is it's a bomb. The Chalet part of it is incredibly powerful. Same with Ambrose. And the thing about Ambrose is you have to keep in mind that it puts a 1/1 counter onto a creature first, and then deals 2 damage to it. So even if the creature's at 2 toughness, it will still survive. Professor is also fantastic as a great first pick, but I think Chalet and Ambrose are just better. At common, we have Heated Debates and Mage Duel. Probably take Heated Debate over Mage Duel. Some ways to learn: Pop Quiz, Cram Session, and okay-ish summoning. Probably the worst summoning of all the other ones. So I think the best cards are Mage Duel, Heated Debate, Professor, and Chalet. I definitely want to take Chalet over Heated Debate, and by taking Chalet here, I still have an option to be in either black or white, and this card is just broken and busted, so I think it's going to be my first pick. Professor would also be excellent, but yeah, just take Chalet here. I think after Chalet, I would take I think I would take Professor and then Heated Debate, but yeah, let's just take Ambrose here. Any good Silverquill cards? There's Expand Anatomy, which is fantastic. A Guiding Voice is also great. Best cards in this pack: Heated Debate and Divide by Zero. Expressive Iterations also solid. Yeah, these are all really good cards. Between Divide by Zero and Heated Debate, I would probably lean towards Divide by Zero since it can learn, which is very important. I could also take the Expand Anatomy anyway, since this can keep me the most open and still a very good lesson you can search up. And since we have a powerful Silverquill bomb, at least, I mean, Expanded Anatomy is going to overperform in it, and it still, again, keeps me open. So, might just take Expanded Anatomy here, which is great. Guiding Voice, I'm hoping we can pick up later if we end up in Silverquill. But just in case we end up in another archetype, I think I'd rather keep myself a little bit more flexible here. If I want to maybe abandon Chalet and take Divide by Zero, which is also a really strong card, I can also do so. But yeah, let's just take Expanded Anatomy. Hopefully we end up there, but if not, hopefully somewhere else. And wow, Killian pretty late. There's also Inkling Summoning. Both really fantastic cards, but if I'm going to be an aggressive Silverquill deck, I want to curve out with Killian on 2. This card's great, especially with Expand Anatomy. I wish this only affects... I mean, it would be more balanced if this only affects target creatures you control, but the fact that it targets the opponent's creature is kind of busted too, since you can just cast cheap removal spells. So going to be Killian here. Otherwise, Inkling Summoning would be fantastic. Academic Dispute, pretty decent way to learn as well. Sometimes can just be a removal spell. Snakeskin Veil, also pretty solid. Expel is okay. Prismari Pledge Mage. Had we taken Divide by Zero, we'd be looking at, I guess, still Killian. So, glad that I stuck with Silverquill, and then hopefully we just draft a busted aggressive Silverquill deck. Best cards in this pack: Mortality Spirit, Mage Hunter's Onslaught, and Spiteful Squad. Yeah, I think if we're going to be playing a card like Killian, Mage Hunter's Onslaught is going to be pretty busted. Just cast this for 2 black to kill something, and you basically can just attack with a bunch of other creatures. So this seems great. And yeah, Mage Hunter is just a solid removal spell, so definitely going to take it over Spiteful Squad. Could this be a clever Luminancer deck? If I know for sure I was going to pick up multiple Guiding Voices, maybe, but Inkling Summoning is still very strong in Silverquill, and it's a lot more safer, I have to imagine. Hopefully, of course, we find more ways to learn, but I think it's just safer. The clever Luminancer is probably the more riskier option, because if we don't have ways to trigger this consistently with, like, Guiding Voices, it's not great. We do have one Expand Anatomy, but we need to learn that first, of course. Inkling Summoning is just a really good lesson we can search up. If Inkling Summoning was in this pack, I would still take maybe Luminancer over Pilgrim of the Ages, which is also really solid. But I think we'll just take the safer approach, which is still strong. Just take the Inkling Summoning here. And Professor, excellent 4-drop. I would actually take Professor over the Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Yeah, just a very powerful mini. It's just like a mini Sarah's Angel, 4 mana, 3/3 Vigilance flying, instead of a 5 mana 4/4 Vigilance flying. Still very strong. Other great cards include Burying Books. I think pack one, pick one. I would still take Bury over Combat since I like the blue guilds a lot better, but Combat's great, and great sign that Silverquill is open. Also, don't mind Show of Confidence. Don't like the Spirit Summoning Lessons as much. Exhilarating Elocution can be also pretty strong with Killian. Show of Confidence can also just maybe be better since it's 2 mana, it's instant speed, and if we can get to the late game and cast an instant or sorcery with this, we can copy this. So that's really good. I guess you can also get a discount with Killian. And this is also an uncommon. There's a chance we can get an Exhilarating Elocution later, which is pretty strong with Killian as well. But going to take the uncommon first, since it's has a much more unique effect. Alan Shield Mage versus Spectre of Fens. Don't have any 5s yet. Spectre of Fens, better in a more grindy deck. It's still pretty solid as a 4-mana 2/3 flyer, but I might just prefer the Alan Shield Mage, since the ward ability is pretty awesome. And yeah, it's just a 3/3 flyer, which is guaranteed to drain the opponent for 3 if they use something against it. Between Cram Session and Eager First Year, we don't have too many ways to learn, unfortunately, but I think I like the Eager First Year in the Silverquill decks more, and hopefully we pick up like Study Breaks to learn instead, and maybe pick up a Cram Session later. Just want to ensure that I have my 2 drops covered. So yeah, let's just take a Eager First Year. Guiding Voice, wow, so late in this pack. This card's great. Another excellent way to learn, and also just generating a counter into one of our 2 drops is really powerful. There's also Spiteful Squad, but take the Guiding Voice here. Just take the uncommon for the vault. No reason to take Novice Dissector, it's pretty bad. Even in Witterbloom, I don't even know if I would play it. And yeah, even though I do want the Silverquill Campus, I think I need to take the Spiteful Squad here, or maybe still the Campus, not sure. It's pretty medium, and there's likely that we get more 4-drops later, so maybe just take the Campus to improve our mana base. And wow, Clever Luminmancer now with an Eager, with a Guiding Voice, it does look a lot better in this deck. Also with Show of Confidence, it's pretty fantastic. So yeah, I guess we're just going to be handed a busted Silverquill deck. Look pretty busted first pick rare. So yeah, haven't drafted a 7-win Silverquill deck yet. In this pack, there's Day of Judgment, which is a strong card, but it's not what we're trying to do necessarily in Silverquill. Don't think we're going to be splashing for a Radiant Scroll Wheeler, since I think we're going to be more creature heavy. Expel is more of a defensive card. I don't mind Hunt for Specimens, just as a decent way that can help us learn and still makes a pest token for on turn 2. Can trigger Magecraft for the Clever Luminmancer on curve. Can grab one of our tokens from the sideboard, one of our lessons from the sideboard, so it's pretty good. And then hopefully we can pick up Spectre of Fens later. But I don't think we're a Day of Judgment deck. I think we just take Hunt for Specimens here. Pretty underwhelming, especially with these powerful bombs. But I think we still have to take this because it makes the most sense with what we're trying to do. And wow, Sparing Regiment is a complete bomb. Helps us learn, and then we can just enhance our creatures over time whenever they attack. Give them Vigilance and attack. Yeah, this card's broken. If this wasn't his pack, probably take Silverquill Pledge Mage. This card's also great in Silverquill, but yeah, not going to take it over Sparring Regiment. Sparring, I think that's the right term. And we're just going to take a Pilgrim of the Ages here. Basically, 3-mana, 2/1 draw card. Helps us hit our land drops. Helps us get to the late game better. Don't think I'm going to be hard splashing for Lightning Helix. Wouldn't mind Spiteful Squad later. The lesson is medium. So just take Pilgrim of the Ages here. Move on. Ooh, Study Break. There's also Environmental Sciences. Never mind. Rise of Exodus. Also quite fantastic. Great removal spell in the late game. And can also help us learn. Study Break could actually be better, though, since it's cheaper. But Rise is just too unique of an effect. And then hopefully I can get more 2-drops later. I definitely need to fill out the creature department, but not going to take over Rise of Exodus, which is just a fantastic card. Between Silverquill Apprentice and Arrogant Poet is actually kind of interesting. Might prefer the Poet since it has flying and we can give it flying. Silverquill Apprentice maybe more to one of the more weaker apprentices in the set. We do have a decent amount of flyers. 2 flyers that maybe we can trigger and give the power to. but overall, like, it's still kind of awkward if, you know, it's still kind of awkward at times if we're not playing a lot of instances in sorceries to trigger Magecraft. I might prefer the Arrogant Poet since it can just fly, and that's kind of more of what we're trying to do. So I think I'll take the Poets over the 2-drop, and I'll take a Silverquill Pledge Mage here over the second Arrogant Poet since our 2s are looking quite good and the 3-drops can use some work. This card is definitely really strong since it can also just gain flying and lifelink, so happy curving out with this. And then, wow, another Guiding Voice, jeez. Now the Clever Lumimancer is looking even better with double Guiding Voice and Sparing Regiment, so definitely looking forward to playing this. And hopefully I can pick up another lesson, since we do have a decent amount of ways to learn now with Sparing Regiment, the Rise of Exodus, and I guess double Guiding Voice. So, we'll see. And don't know if I want to play Expel here. Secret Rendezvous is pretty bad. Maybe I take the Spectre to give another evasive threat. Don't think we're an Expel deck. Just the 3-mana is kind of clunky and only deals with tapped threats. So a little bit of a weird card for us, I think. Show of Confidence looks very good. Double Guiding Voice, same with Clever Lumimancer. The more weaker cards include like Eager First Year. Maybe we could cut one Poet. Don't mind a Spiteful Squad. Could also see a reason to maybe take a Promising Dusk Mage, even though not a lot of people like it. I think I'd rather have my first Spiteful Squad first. It still draws a card, and we have ways to put counters onto it, especially with Sparring Regiment. It actually looks kind of better now. So could actually see the reasonable pick with the Promising Dusk Mage. Maybe that it seems like an okay one-of in the deck, and we got Spiteful Squad anyways. Don't really like Spirit Summoning, so just pick the squad, and hopefully we pick up more Inkling Summonings later. Another Eager First Year. Okay, so, yeah. Don't know if we'll play Laurel Pledge Mage, but we'll see. So definitely need more lessons. That's going to be a huge priority. Don't think I'm going to play double Clever Lumimancer, but iTwitch is pretty nice, especially as a 1/1 evasive flyer. And I think this card's actually going to be at its best in Silverquill. There's also Mage Hunter's Onslaught. We currently don't have too much removal, but that's okay-ish. I think the game plan is just to kill the opponent quickly with our threats instead of responding, and iTwitch is a decent way to learn. Especially in Silverquill, I really am a big fan of iTwitch. Definitely better than in Witterbloom, since it's pretty good, of course. Cram Session can help us learn, but yeah, we have ways to learn now. I don't hate Agonizing Remorse, but I also don't hate Unwilling Ingredients. Although we do have 2 1-drops already. Maybe we just cut the Clever Lumimancer instead. Agonizing Remorse is okay, but we have a bunch of stuff on 2. We're not really trying to snipe their hand, so maybe we just take an Unwilling Ingredients. And that could actually might be better than Clever Lumimancer since we need to rely on them. Triggering Magecraft to enable it. Whereas, you know, even if we trigger Magecraft, like, these 2 cards are still good. Now, between Study Break and Pest Summoning, I might take the Pest Summoning, since we have a lot of ways to learn array. Rise of Exodus, Sparring Regiment, I guess the iTwitch, double Guiding Voice. There's also Stonerise Spirit, but we definitely need more things to grab up while learning. And I don't mind just having a Pest Summoning here, since we are kind of missing some lessons. And then, wow, double Killian. Wow, this is insane. Also, Exhilarating Elocution, but I don't think we can pass it up over Killian here. Now, maybe we can cut the Eager First Year from the deck. And then here, don't really think I need Stonerise Spirit, quite bad. Strict Proctor could be okay-ish. Think I can just take an Introduction to Prophecy as another fine lesson we can look up. Seems okay. And maybe we can play 1 copy of Defend the Campus as fine removal and a way to maybe pump our creatures. There's also Team Pendants, which is better if we have more Inkling Summonings, but overall I don't want to pay 3 mana just to give a creature +1/+1. Seems quite bad. And then we're at 23 cards, plus the Silverquill Campus, so I guess we need 1 more playable in the deck. So these are kind of like our instances of sorceries to trigger Magecraft. I guess we also have Hunt for Specimens. So Clever Lumimancer could also be still pretty reasonable here. I mean, but it's probably just worse than Eager First Year, I have to imagine, because this can just become a 3/2 right away, and you need to maybe trigger this more than once in the late game. So maybe I just play one copy of Eager First Year. Oh, another Rise of Exodus. Count me in. Okay, I guess we'll just take double Rise and just cut the Eager First Year here. And I guess with 2 of these 6 drops, I want to just stay with 16 lands. Ooh, another okay lesson we can grab up in case we need more removal. Can make a creature unblockable. Could also just cut Defend the Campus now that I think about it. Since it's kind of medium. Wow, another clever Lumimancer. Don't think I need a second one. I'll only ever play 1 copy. Take an Essence Infusion, but not sure if I'll play it. Cram Session. Star Pupil is pretty bad. So we don't really have too many things to target with the Killian, but it does give us a nice reduction for Rise of Exodus and Mage Hunter's Onslaught, which are great removal spells. And with Sparring Regiment, I do like the Promising Dust Mage on 3 since we were lacking 3 drops. So I'm quite glad that I picked that up. Don't know why Heed the Bait is going this late. So I think we just run 17 lands with double Rise. It seems to make a lot more sense. And we do want to hit 17 to also activate the Spectre of Fens. We could also hit some land drops to enable Unwilling Ingredients. There's also, I guess, Show of Confidence, which wants us to have a little bit more land. Chalet can also be cast as Embrose, so 4 mana. So I guess it's also a 4-drop. So, all right. Guess we're at 22 playables with the land, so just need to add 1 more playable, and I think this deck is pretty solid. I like the double Rise, I like the Owlin Shield Mage, the 4s look pretty solid. Don't mind the 3 drops. The 2s look all pretty good. Show of Confidence, pretty good with the Guiding Voice as well. Although it could still be cuttable. It's pretty decent hunt for specimens. The things that we have to learn, I guess we have an Inkling Summon to look up, the Expand Anatomy, and Introduction to Prophecy. So we do have decent ways to trigger Magecraft. Same the Pest Summoning, so Show of Confidence can also be pretty nice later on, giving us ways to like put counters onto things. In terms of creatures, we have 14, plus 15, plus maybe 16 with the Pest Summoning. So we're definitely not light on creatures. So in terms of the sideboard, what card do I want? Lorehold Pledge Mage could be reasonable, but double white is not that great. Might not be unreliable sometimes in terms of ways to learn in the main board. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to learn, so I don't necessarily need to throw in a Cram Session in this deck either. So these are 2 lessons that we can easily grab up. I guess 3. So the only card currently at the bottom here is maybe Lorehold Pledge Mage. Could toss in an Essence Infusion. It's not actually that bad considering that we have double Killian, although it might not be necessary since we do have double Guiding Voice and Show of Confidence to put counters onto things. We also have Sparring Regiment, which can put counters onto things, Spiteful Squad when it dies. Do I just play Defend the Campus? How much removal? Double Rise of Exodus, Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Could also just throw in an Eager First Year to just have more 2-drops in the early game to curve out with. There's also Stonerise Spear, which isn't great, but can maybe enable flying. But we do have a decent amount of flying already. Owlin Shield Mage, the Inkling Summoning, Combat Professor, Spectre Fens, Silverquill Pledge Mage, double Arrogant Poet. So yeah, maybe don't need the Stonerise Spirit. I can also consider Clever Lumimancer, but at that point, I think I'd rather just have Eager First Year. Like, this card can be pretty sweet with a Guiding Voice, but I think Eager First Year can just be better. In terms of early game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a lot of early game already, so probably don't need the Eager First Year. The 3s, the mid game here looks pretty decent as well. The 4-drops look okay-ish. So the only cards I can really consider is maybe adding in a Lorehold Pledge Mage, which can be pretty decent counters, but again, the double white can be a problem. So I think it's really between Eager First Year and Defend the Campus for this type of deck. Defend the Campus feels more of like a sideboard card, but removal is removal, and we currently don't have much. 1, 2, 3 removal spells. Defend can also pump our creatures. And we already have double Killian on turn 2. So probably just want Defend the Campus maybe. And we can always learn up some creatures, because our creature quality is quite good already, so I guess that's okay. And it's pretty insane putting a counter onto these 1-drops as well. There's also just Essence Infusion, which could also be pretty nice in this type of deck. Because, like, Defend the Campus just feels too situational. Like, sure, it's removal for something large, but, you know, maybe we can just grow our creatures large enough. And we already have double Rise of Exodus and Mage Hunter's Onslaughts. So if we just grow our creatures large enough and fly over, I guess we can just win that way. So maybe I want Essence Infusion into this deck. One, two, three, four. And then 5 with the Sparing Regiment to put counters. Like, this is pretty insane if you can Eye Twitch or Unwilling Ingredient and put 2 counters onto it on turn 2 and attack. That's actually pretty powerful, since even if it dies, I can still, like, eventually cycle this to draw a card. And then with Killian, it's even more insane. And onto a flyer, it's even better. So I actually don't hate the Essence Infusion in this type of deck. We also have that Expand Anatomy, I guess, as a way to put counters onto things. So it's really between Eager, Defend, Lorehold Pledge Mage, and Essence Infusion. And I think I just preferred a cheaper card over the situational removal spell that's kind of clunky, the 2-drops, which we already have a decent amount of already, and a life gain helps with the double Arrogant Poet. So yeah, I guess we can try something like this. 17 land seems fine, and then we can keep it even split. So yeah, let's give this a spin. I forgot Chalet also just put counters, so if we have more ways to put counters onto our 1/1 tokens, we can eventually just grow them with Embrose as well. So yeah, let's give this a shot. And the picture, Chalet seems like a good picture. And then we'll just move these pump spells into the sideboard. I mean, not to the sideboard, over to the side. And then we can just, this is kind of our curve, so I just need to take a snapshot, maybe as a potential thumbnail. And let's fire this one off. Hopefully get to 7 wins with it, since it's quite strong. The only thing that's lacking is probably the cheap, efficient removal, but still the creature quality is high, and we still have removal. So this deck looks pretty insane. Opening hand, do we have a 1-drop? This doesn't look like a good keep. Like, we need creatures early on, so I think this is a mull. And then this hand looks a little bit better. Cards I'm maybe looking to cut. I can maybe just cut the Promising Dusk Mage, although it does draw me a card. And it's actually pretty good with Chalet onto, since you can play Chalet onto and then put a counter on the Promising Dusk Mage. So I could actually just bomb the Arrogant Poet, to be honest. And this is still 1/1 Vigilance, which I can play on curve. So maybe this is fine. And then hopefully Chalet survives, so I can put a counter onto this. And the thing about this creature is that it can also attack, since it has Vigilance as well. Alright, so hopefully no fight spell. I think we just need to cast our 2-mana creature here, and then hope it survives. And then I can attack for 1, and then tap it to put a counter onto the Promising Dusk Mage. Definitely no blocks here, and hopefully no Mage Hunter's duel. I mean, he would have done it main phase, I guess, to do the extra damage. So he's just looking to ramp here. So I can attack for 1 and then put a counter onto the Promising Dusk Mage. So that looks pretty reasonable. I think I'll do that. And then next turn we can Silverquill into Unwilling Ingredient. Just want to play on the Dust Mage, since it makes it a pretty good blocker, and this is a important priority to put a counter onto. So now this is looking quite good, since it replaces itself. And just, if he wants to use intro on Shalai, that's really great, since we also gain a huge tempo advantage here by drawing a card, and now we're just curving out like mad. So let's see, what can I do here? I can play land. I can play Killian into Unwilling Ingredient into Guiding Voice, but I'd probably want to cast a Silverquill Pledge Mage this turn to have an extra flyer, since he can always double block this eventually. Just cast a Pledge Mage, cast Unwilling Ingredient, and next turn we can Guiding Voice and fly over. Biomathematician. He can double block the Promising Dusk Mage. Arrogant Poet isn't too bad. So I definitely want to cast a Guiding Voice this turn to enable flying here. And then do I attack with a Promising Dusk Mage? If I do, he can always just double block it and kill it for free. If I put it onto the Unwilling Ingredient, he can also double block it and kill it. I don't mind just putting it onto the Arrogant Poet, to be honest. Since it gives me another flying threat that can help me close out. Or maybe I just put it onto the Silverquill Pledge Mage anyways and hope for the best. Or I guess I can always just Guiding Voice on the Promising Dusk Mage, so then he's forced to like triple block into it. Not sure. I think I try to Guiding Voice on the Pledge Mage here. Just too good. And hopefully no flunk or annoying removal spell. And then we can always grab, I guess, Expand Anatomy is awesome too, but I think we just want more flyers with the Inkling Summoning. And I don't think there's any sweepers in Sultai, so I'll just play out Killian. Opponent just passes the turn, wow. Don't mind just casting Hunt for Specimens then. Sure. And then we want to give it flying. And then I just want to grab a Expand Anatomy. I can cast Expand Anatomy, but I think I just want to cast the Inkling Summoning. And I can also give the Silverquill Pledge Mage flying lifelink as well. So this seems pretty good. And I can attack for 6. Probably has a bounce spell or something, but this is fine, I guess. Price has the bounce spell, but I still get in for 2 at least. And I still have an extra flyer, yep. So I guess he has more tricks up his sleeve. Could also just put the counters onto Killian in attack. Maybe that's fine. Since this has Menace, so I don't actually hate that. Yeah, let's put 2 counters on the Killian here and see what he tries. Move to combat, and I think I'm fine attacking with these 4, and I'll pay 2 life here. Just want to diversify my flyers in case he has another Burying Book so I don't get blown out. And the double block here is fine too. I gain 4 life, and I still get in a nice amount of damage. I guess a Reckless Amplimancer can grow itself, so I want to put that first, so maybe I can force it to pump. Still find 1 for 1, I guess, but he takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is quite good. Can maybe see an Arcane Subtraction. Okay, so I guess I don't gain life, but I do deal a ton of damage here. Does he have another Burying Books? Jesus. Wow, this guy has all the tools. So he had 1 anyways, but I get him for 5 at least. Can still chump block with the Unwilling Ingredients, or double block at least. Because I might just cycle this, because I might want to hit another instant or sorcery, so might just double block, and I can even force the Reckless Amplimancer to pump or trade. And then he'll have to spend a ton of mana just to stick around, so we'll see. Opponent just passes the turn, wow. So he probably has another Burying Books. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm fine chumping with the Unwilling Ingredient and drawing a card next turn if he attacks. Can always lure and grab a pest summoning as well. I think I'm chumping here. Yeah, I think the chump is fine. And then we can still draw a card in a turn to increase the likelihood of grabbing a instant or sorcery to trigger Magecraft for the Silverquill Pledge Mage. Hopefully he's just out of tricks. That's fine. But now you can see why Witterbloom is so bad because of these bounce tricks and negate effects. And especially with cards that force you to sacrifice things, it's not great. Ooh, Pestilent Call, discard a card, create a pest summoning token. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life you gain this turn, exile 4 cards. It seems pretty bad. Like, I wouldn't even consider splashing this card, to be honest. Even a Mage Hunter's Onslaught to end the draft with. Okay, let's just do that. Do I just get rid of Annoying Blocker? If I do, what happens? Then I can attack. And that's quite good. And he still loses a life if he blocks. So yeah, he's basically dead. This is why, again, you don't draft Witterbloom, because the Cauldron is just also a pretty bad rare. It's like the only reason you should maybe play Witterbloom is if you open up Belladros. The 7 mana 4/4 dragon, but even then, I'm happier splashing that in the Quandrix deck. I guess Witterbloom can also be our weakness, since if they have ways to gain a ton of life, it would be hard for me to outrace them, but we'll see. Alright, not bad. Killian and Guiding Voice. Ooh, alright, I think I might want Guiding Voice on the Promising Dusk Mage, though. So we'll see. Ooh, I guess Pilgrim of the Ages can also help us get a land drop. Ooh, Professor. Jesus, this card is great. And can also learn into a token. Wow, yeah, that's really fantastic. Let's just play out Killian here. Next turn, don't mind playing the Promising Dusk Mage, and then we can Pilgrim, play a land, and then Guiding Voice on the Promising Dusk Mage. Since it'll hit a little bit harder, and I want this card to have a counter on it. Don't mind taking 2, we can swing back for 2, gain 2. If he wants to play the Inkling token and stay back, that's also fine. This card's so crazy. The fact that it's Menace and makes like your removal spells cost 2 less is pretty insane. Probably stay back. He might actually Guiding Voice here, maybe. But I'm still okay with that. So opponent also might have a pretty strong Silverquill deck. Yep, that's a good one. I can also just trade for this, honestly. Like, it's not actually unreasonable trading here. Like, sure, this can gain me 2 life, but I'll be saving 4 life here and taking out a pretty relevant threat in the meantime. So maybe it's reasonable trading. Yeah, I think the trade here is pretty good, because this can grow out of hand and puts more counters onto it. So this seems fine, and then we can still play Swamp into Dusk Mage, into Pilgrim, into Guiding Voice on it. I guess he can attack for 3 now, sure. Could also trade here too, but don't see a reason to. Spectre Offends, also pretty solid. But I think we really want to counter on the Dusk Mage. I could also attack for 2 and play this Spiteful Squad. since if this dies, I can put counters onto the Promising Dusk Mage as well. And that can be okay-ish. Maybe that's fine, or maybe just play Spectre. He can kill the Spectre as well. But I think I'm attacking for 2 for sure. And then maybe the Manfish play is okay, and then I also don't mind trading down here since I can move the counters again onto the Promising Dusk Mage, and it can grow quite large, so this is fine. Also, I see that the opponent might be missing his land drops too, since I'm at 4 and he's at 3, and he was on a play, so pretty interesting to note. Reduce the Memory is also not that great of a removal spell since I also get a creature off of it, so. Arrogant Poet. And a Clever Lumimancer, so gonna be super aggressive here. In this scenario, what seems good here, I can Spectre Fence and Guiding Voice, and that can be okay. He's probably going to use Reduce the Memory on the Spectre, but I guess that's still fine. I can also hunt for specimens and grab an Inkling token, or Pest Summoning tokens. I think I like Spectre into Guiding Voice this turn. And I think I like it on the Promising Dusk Mage so I can attack with both. And then we just want to grab, I guess, we have multiple ways to learn. Just want to grab maybe more ways to fly. Inkling Summoning seems good, and I think I'm fine attacking with both, and the trade is also reasonable, since I can just move counters onto Spectre, but then I guess I can kill it, and I still get a 3-2 at least. So the question is, do I want to put counters onto the Flyer, or do I want to put counters on the Dusk Mage? If I put it onto the Dusk Mage, he's more likely to kill it, and I get to draw a card. And this is already a really relevant threat, so maybe I put 2 counters here to make it more likely he uses to reduce the memory on it. The Exile effect would be annoying, but at least the 2-3 still blocks the Flyer and Clever Lumimancer, so. And if he kills my Spectre, I can still trade. Expel, wow, that's like the best answer to this. Yeah, that's sad, but alright. At least I can still, I only take 3 here, and I can still block pretty reasonably well. I guess it's a 3-3, so never mind. I guess I'll take 3 here, and then at least the 2-3 can still stay back. Can cast Arrogant Poet. Maybe I still want to keep this back. Can Pilgrim hit a land drop? I guess I don't mind just Hunt here. I guess I can also put counters, but I'm hoping he can kill my 2-3 maybe. Not sure. You know what? Let's do a Inkling Summoning and Arrogant Poet and just pass the turn. And then just say go. Opponent's stuck on lands too, so he's also not in a good spot. Ooh, go blank. Wow, that's gonna hurt. Okay. Darn, that's really bad. And he also exiles my graveyard as well. Yeah, that's not great for me, so at least maybe I can take 3 and keep up the Spectre Fence ability. Don't think I'm double blocking here anytime soon. Just take 3 for now. Yeah, that go blank really hurts, so just stay back. Say go. You can always attack with the 2-1, which is okay. Maybe I'm fine with the trade. And then I can still activate Spectre Offense, perhaps. But yeah, that go blank hit me pretty hard, so hopefully I can top deck some goodies, or maybe activate Spectre end of turn. At least this isn't really a great removal spell to use. And I can still trade off some things. Not sure here. I'm hoping he just kills this. Yeah, and I'm fine trading for the Clever Lumimancer. And also fine trading for the Silverquill Apprentice as well. Show of Confidence doesn't seem great in this spot. Yeah, I'm probably just going to pass the turn and hopefully just trade for the Silverquill Apprentice. So probably shouldn't have put my eggs all in one basket for the Dusk Mage. But seeing that he had the removal spell, it made me want to do it. Hopefully he doesn't have a trick. But he probably has one. Trade is fine. Bringing back the Lumimancer or Arrogant Poets or Professor, so he can learn even more. Yeah, this isn't great. Ooh, Alan Shield Mage is great though. Can maybe chain together Show of Confidence to have a Flying Vigilance threat eventually. At 15 life, he's probably gonna be okay though. Hopefully nothing too good here. Grabs a Spirit Summoning, which is okay. So probably the weakness that the opponent has is that he doesn't have good, Sparring Regiment is fantastic, and we can also, I guess, grab now Pest Summoning or Expand Anatomy. Maybe we just want Pest Summoning so we don't get run over. And we can also just make creatures, so that's quite good. I can always Pest Summoning and then Show of Confidence, but I do have a way to put counters on the things anyways. So I think I might want to throw out the Pest Summoning here so we don't get run over again on the ground and still have some creatures. So that was a really pretty good top deck. Guess he has a removal spell for this. Sure, Rise of Exodus, okay. Fine trading for the 2/1 if he attacks. Intro to Annihilation. Ooh, Killian? Yeah, Killian's quite good. I think I'm fine attacking with one of them. Then fine trading a Professor for it as well. And then if we can Killian into something, that would also be fantastic. Don't think I'll play Show because I do want an instant to go along with this, but this with Sparring Regiment is quite busted. And if he wants to do this just for tempo, that's fine. I can always Show of Confidence at instant speed and trade for the 3/2. And hopefully he helps me draw into more threats, which I do have a decent amount in this deck still. Opponent overall definitely has a lot more value than me, but he might not get there against Sparring Regiments. I think I'm fine taking 5 if he attacks, and then I can always swing back. Either put a counter on Killian or the 1/1. Yeah, he might just cast it here just for tempo. Sure. So I'm going to decide whether or not I want to cast Show of Confidence here to trade. I mean, it's actually not that bad since I don't want to take too much damage. And I can eventually just draw into a threat. I think I will. And it's going to take a while anyways to grow past the 3/3, and a trade here is nice so I don't, again, get run over. Essence Infusion, okay, so just maybe need to scry into some threats with Sparring Regiment and hopefully no more removal. But this could be a problem if he just keeps playing with threats. Main deck's Revitalize, okay. Wow, even a go blank, sure. I mean, he gets to exile my graveyard, but I don't think that matters. I'm playing some questionable cards in an aggressive Silverquill deck, but I mean, he's still beating me here, so who am I to know what to do? Please give me a creature at least. Rise of Ectus is great. And then we're just gonna exile the Pillar Drop Rescuer and exile, I guess, his own Rise of Ectus. And then we'll bring, I guess, Introduction to Prophecy to scry into some more stuff, better stuff, I think. Opponent just hopefully plays a land and just passes. It's kind of scary here. Okay. Yep, let's play the intro. And we can still scry if we don't hit anything. Silverquill Pledge Mage seems pretty good. And then we're fine saying go, keeping land in hand to maybe represent a spell of some sort. Hopefully he doesn't draw into anything too good here. Could consider exiling a creature instead from the opponent because he could have another Pillar Drop Rescuer. Scrying on his upkeep seems reasonable. Alright, opponent just hitting lands, let's move to combat. Hopefully no expel. Okay, take 4, and then I can at least scry. Okay, sure. Sure, that's really cute. Darn. Okay. I mean, I just need a creature. Come on, we can do this. Game, come on, just give me a threat. Give me something. Maybe a Rise of Ectus is still fine. Opponent top decks the threat. Dueling Coach, alright. Arrogant Poet seems okay, although I'll be losing life with this. So not sure if I even want it, to be honest, so I think I'll just keep it, I'll just bomb it here, and then I guess that's good. And then we want to get rid of, I guess, an Inkling Summoning. I can still grab Expand Anatomy. I think I'm fine playing lands, and I guess I'll scrap my upkeep this time, since we're flooding here. But these scry lands do really help. Wow, keeps it on top. Alright, I'm running out of threats. I need to find something to grow large. But he probably has a removal spell since he's keeping it up on top. Mage Hunter's Onslaught, I guess I'll keep. We'll draw here. And then we'll main and say go. Guess he could also have his own Mage Hunter's Onslaught. That's fine. Yeah, I guess I'll just draw for turn. Onslaught this. You can always scry end of turn as well. Say go. Just a grindy match, back and forth removal. And the go blank was pretty devastating. I do have a Combat Professor left in this deck though. I can scry twice at least. He seems to be the more grindy control version of the Silverquill deck. Multiple removal spells and ways to recur things. Star People, will it get there? Not sure. It's definitely an underwhelming card. Okay, I think I'm gonna scry on upkeep. Nothing too expensive to get. Ooh, that's a good one. Yup, we're definitely doing it, folks. The question is, which one do I want? I mean, Chalet with the flying is pretty good. Embrose is also pretty good as well. I mean, Embrose is just insane as a 4/4. I guess I'll just cast it as Embrose. I can also Chalet, and then have a flying threat. Maybe that's just better. Since the star people can just jump block all day. Yeah, let's just do that then. And then I can also just tap it to give a creature a counter after I finish attacking with it, so. Hopefully just out of gas. These scry lands really help. Oh wow, more lands. Not what I want, but I'll attack here. And hopefully not another defend the campus out of nowhere. So go. This game is close. I mean, if the opponent has a removal spell, I'm kind of dead. Although 1/1 I don't really care about, I can eventually draw into my combat professor, so I still have some threats in this deck still. The opponent answered most of them though. I do have a second arrogant poet. Eager first year, that's fine. But at least it's not a removal spell. Ooh, and will ingredient. I mean, I don't hate it. It's a pretty reasonable card, actually. I guess I can main. So what I can do is I can play the unwilling ingredient, attack, and then so I can hold full control. Cast Chalet. Move the combat, attack. I guess I had to tap Chalet too, so I guess this is fine. And then I can still, I guess, tap it after damage to put a counter onto the unwilling ingredient. I think I'll do that just for value. And hopefully it doesn't have a expel out of nowhere. But by doing this, I still get to draw a card. It make it more likely I find more answers. Yeah, his deck just looks more janky than mine's. And another bottom is a good sign. And I'm fine trading for the eager first year here too. Or I can just take it because he's basically dead to a single unwilling ingredient attack. If he has a removal for Shalai and then plays another 2-drop, I might regret it, so I might want to trade this off. And it's a higher chance of getting something better. So trade isn't actually unreasonable now that I think about it, so. Ooh, should have scryed my upkeep. I guess attacking here is also fine. Because I can also just get a creature once this dies. And then he's also forced to chump here. Sure. Hopefully he doesn't have any sweepers. Can always Guiding Voice, but I don't think I need to. Just say go. I do have one more Combat Professor left in the deck that can help me close out if Chalet dies. But overall, that's a very beneficial trade for me. Pretty much a 3-for-1. Opponent's deck just isn't as good as ours. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that was probably the longest grindy match I've played so far with in a Silverquill mirror, so that's pretty funny to note. But our deck is again just better, so he even go blanked us twice. Okay, Guiding Voice, Arrogant Poets. Seems okay. We can put 2 counters on the Arrogant Poet if it survives. Can always like Guiding Voice on it and then Show of Confidence, or if we can put more creatures. I think it's a very okay keep, but definitely not the best hand, since if I lose my threats, then this hand's gonna suck. But I think I'll try it. Ooh, Eye Twitch. Alright, never mind. So Show of Confidence with Guiding Voice is pretty insane with the Arrogant Poet. I can also just Essence Infusion on the Eye Twitch. I mean, that's also quite reasonable. I mean, it does deal more damage, I guess. So how about this? Let's just Essence Infusion on the Eye Twitch right away. And even if he kills it, I still get to learn. Either way, I'm going to be attacking him for 3. And as an aggro deck, I just want to get in as much damage as possible, so I think that's reasonable. Could see a bounce spell. Maybe it is a bounce spell. If it is, I guess I can always play Arrogant Poets. I think I'm attacking because, like, sure, I can risk a Burying Books here, but, like, what else do I do? Not Burying Books. Guess I can Guiding Voice here still, since I can always just grab an Inkling Summoning token. And I think that's what I have to do here. Because if we don't apply enough pressure, we're just never going to get there, so... Cultivator, sure. Just more lands. Okay, we're going to hit an Eye Twitch next turn. Yeah, I think I'll play the Inkling Summoning. And then we'll attack and then pay 2 life here. To smash it for 3. And then hopefully we can just put counters onto our Eye Twitch or one of our other flyers. No blocks. I can also save Show of Confidence. Darn, the Symmetress is really annoying. Same with the Scourge Colony. Wow, yeah, that's not good. Guess I can Show of Confidence and attack for 4. I think I might have to just offer to trade here, since the reach creature is going to become a problem. So how about that? Let's just play Show of Confidence on the Arrogant Poets, and then I don't think I need to fly this, since it just attacks regularly into the 4/4, and the trade is fine. Can also can also just chump the Eye Twitch and use an Expand Anatomy to also grow the 2/1 flyer. It's actually not unreasonable chumping with this. But it's also not looking great for me here. Yeah, this is also looking quite bad for me. So if I chump with the Eye Twitch and make a 4/2, he's just going to trade the Master Symmetress. So it's also looking quite bad. But maybe I just have to do so. Can also Academic Probation, doesn't seem great. Yeah, let's just grab the Expand Anatomy. Although I do want counters onto the Promising Dusk Mage. So let's see, I could Expand Anatomy and trade. I mean, or I can just make a big blocker with the Promising Dusk Mage, and it can still make me and it can still draw me a card. So maybe it's fine using it on the Dusk Mage. I can also just put 2 counters here and trade as well. But the fact that Dusk Mage can draw a card makes it better, so I think just go for it here and say go. And hopefully he doesn't have another Rise to Exodus out of nowhere. Otherwise, I don't mind trading for this. And this still blocks the ground. And I think we might just have to be in a defensive position here, since He just have too many reach creatures that we can't attack past reliably. So I guess it's now time for Opponent to grab value with the Scourge Colony. Please no removal spell, Mage Hunter's Onslaught. I mean, we still draw a card. It's also not looking good here. I'm fine trading for the Scourge Colony as well. I guess I'll take 3. Killian. I think we just Sparring Regiment here. And then I can Academic Probation to draw a card for a turn. I can also Introduction to Prophecy. I mean, he's just going to trade, right, if I use the Academic Probation on him. But still really not that bad, honestly, but I'll be taking a bunch of hits back. Yeah, it's not looking good here. Yeah, this card is just really bad here. Maybe it's just the intro. But I'm planning to maybe play Killian. Let's take the Probation. Maybe this is my chance to play the Probation, but I'll be taking 5, so I don't know. Let's just play Killian here and say go. This is going to become a 4/4 once he plays a land, so it's also not a good sign. Yep, and now that's a 4/4. He can make a 6/6, and we're pretty much screwed, I guess. The trade here isn't bad, but it's also not great. I think I just have to take it here and hopefully find a Rise of Exodus. Just take it. Overall, he's just owning me. Yeah, Leyline Invocation for 8, and then another Leyline. Yeah, it's probably pretty much game over if I can't kill him quickly. Spectre Fen seems okay-ish. I think we're just dead, so we'll just GG's here and hopefully face against an opponent that doesn't have all the interaction early on. And we were doing quite well, like Essence Infusion on the Eye Twitch on 3/2 was pretty nuts. I think it was a turn when he played the Symmetrist and the Reach creatures that got us. So definitely kind of our weakness. Opening hand seems okay. Eye Twitch on 1. Yeah, I guess I don't mind playing this on 2, or just Eye Twitch into Essence Infusion like we did last game, and hopefully don't get completely blown out. I might just do that because it just applies so much pressure, and if I lose this, I still get to again learn. So this is quite good. And yeah, this is just really hard to deal with early on. A 2-mana 3/3 flyer. Try beating that. And I think I'm just going to attack for 3 here, and then play an Arrogant Poet. Since Embrose is pretty nice with the Eye Twitch, I can also turn 2 Chalet into Arrogant Poet as well. Embrose is quite strong. You know what? Yeah, let's just play Embrose. A 4-mana 4/4 is tough to deal with. And then I'm fine just taking 2. And I can just grow this as well, which is kind of insane. Letter, okay. Maybe you can see like an Arcane. Right, that's fine. I can attack with everything next turn, and he might be forced to jump. Show of Confidence is quite crazy too. Yeah, I guess I want to show on the Arrogant Poets. If I tap it and deal 2 damage to it, I guess we have 4, 5, 6, 7, so he's pretty much almost dead. So let's see, let's play the Arrogant Poet here. I think we'll cast Show of Confidence on Arrogant Poet. And then I can just tap it. It puts a 1/1 counter, so yeah, he's basically at 2 life here. So I think I go for it here. And then we'll move the combat attack, and then we'll pay 2 life, and then he's basically dead next turn with multiple flyers. So yeah, I don't think there's a way out here. It's basically was game over the moment I placed this on the eye twitch. So sometimes you just have the most busted Silverquill deck, and this is an example. Sure. Yeah. I twitch into Essence Infusion is just really gross. Ooh, okay. Unwilling Ingredients, Chalet. Yeah, I don't mind just curving out Unwilling into Chalet. Just get the flyer down, that can just put counters everywhere. Seems quite good. Ooh, can also Essence Infusion. Do I want to Essence Infusion? Maybe later. If I Essence, I can attack for 3, play Promising Dust Mage, but I think Chalet into Dust Mage makes a lot more sense. Since I just want to put a counter onto it right away and also develop a threat. Whereas it's going to be a little bit awkward with Essence Infusion and Dust Mage. So I think we just attack for 2 here, and then next turn we can Essence and Show. And we always want to play the creature first, of course, and then tap our Chalet here. So now it's a 3-4. Not a big fan of this, but I'll play 1 copy if I have ways to put counters onto things. Since it's kind of scary, and then I can put counters everywhere. So what I can do now is I guess I can Essence Infusion onto the ingredients. Maybe I should have done it on Chalet, not sure. Cast Show Confidence. And we can also copy. And I'll put another counter onto Chalet, because since this array has 2 counters onto it, there's a chance he could have the Exile spell. So I think I'm fine attacking like this. I guess he could have the Exile effect on the Promising, but, you know, it is what it is. I still get to attack for 6, which is a ton. Okay, that's fine. I guess he can trade for the Dusk Mage. But I mean, I still draw a card, so it's not all that bad. Yeah, reasonable play. Hopefully nothing here, please. Wow, even the God's Willing. I mean, I guess that's fine, but at least the tricks are gone. Like, it's really not that bad if the tricks are all gone. And he's still behind on board. And I still get to draw a card, which is quite good, and then we can eventually just play land into Rise to deal with this. And the fact that this has Vigilance is also quite strong. Probably see a Mage Hunter's Flunk. Sure. Kills our bomb. So hopefully no more removal spells, and then we can just keep swinging back for 3. Can Rise of Exodus, get maybe something back. Yep. Just a 3/3 Menacer is just really annoying. I can also just take the 3 and swing back. Since this has Death Touch, it's almost like a way to free roll them. Rise is great. I think I'll just Rise here on, I guess, Golem makes the most sense. And then we can get rid of Flunk. And then we can also just get a Inkling Summoning here. The question is, do I want to attack with the Spiteful? Not really, because he could have a removal for my 3, and then fine just playing the Inkling Summoning, putting counters onto it next turn, to have an extra evasive threat. And I think Golem is the much more important thing to kill since it can just copy counters, which can be pretty scary. Pledge Mage, sure. Pilgrim isn't too bad. I think I want to play the Inkling Summoning first, of course, and then fine attacking the Spiteful Squad. Fine also with the trade. And then with the trade, I can put the counters onto, I think, the 2-1 to diversify. And we can also play the Pilgrim to get rid of a land. And I think I'm fine playing out the plane since there's really no reason not to since he knows about already. Spectre, sure. I'm hoping no Professor's Warning, but it still results in a trade even if he has one. So if I attack with all, what happens? He needs to double block this, he can chump here and block here. I still lose the Pilgrim, but I can always just get it back. So I think I'm fine with it, so then I can maybe enable the Unwilling Ingredient to attack. So probably chump here, block here, hopefully no Professor's Warning, but even if he does, I mean, I still trade. Why does everyone like this card so much? It's really not that good. Okay, so this is gone, and now I can still play Arrogant Poets. Might have been more reasonable to grab this back, but I still want to just apply pressure here, and we can always get back the following turn. He can still gain some life, but I can just swing back. Sure. I'm fine taking 6. I mean, it's lethal if he doesn't have anything. Yep. Too many tricks, not enough creatures. I wish I had one copy of Professor's Warning. I think it would have been pretty decent in his deck as well. Alright, and 4 and 1. Let's keep this up. Alright, we do have Sparring Regiments, which is quite good. We're on the draw. I mean, if we can turn 3 the Silverquill Pledge Mage or turn 2 Arrogant Poet into Sparring Regiment, it's quite good. I mean, I don't know if I can mulligan a hand with a bomb like Sparring Regiments, especially with 2 lands. So maybe I'm still fine keeping this and then hopefully draw into a black source or a 3rd land at least to get things going. I could be completely wrong keeping this, but I think there's an argument for just keeping it. Alright. So black mana would be amazing. And no black mana. Okay, so this could just be a whiff. Please give me a land off the top at least. Please a land. I mean, this is a 17 lander. Okay. At least I can play the Pledge Mage. If I'm taking 3, I can always hit back with Lifelink with Show of Confidence. I can also just trade, but it does trade down since the Arrogant Poet trades better. I don't want to trade here. Yeah, probably fine. I could Show of Confidence, but I like the Sparring Regiment here. This way we can at least get an Inkling token, or expand Anatomy could be reasonable. Anatomy can actually be pretty strong, since I can also just give it lifelink and flying, so maybe the expand Anatomy is just better. And then we can say go, take 6, gain 5, gain 6 on the way back with the Anatomy and lifelink. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully no flunk. I mean no Mage Hunters. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here. I guess I'll just take it here. And then hope. I mean, he would have dueled, right? And if he played a Black Source, he would have also done something different. But this turn is pretty awesome. We can cast Expand Anatomy on the Silverquill Pledge Mage. Give it lifelink. And then I don't think there's anything in single green at instant speed that punishes me here, so can also just gain 6 here. So yeah, Sparring Regiment is a bomb. And then eventually, hopefully, I can get my black mana sorted out. I can also just cast Show of Confidence still. No blocks here, definitely a suspicious attack. I can also just put a counter, give it Vigilance. Leyline, sure. So I can give this Flying an attack, and then maybe block. It takes 6 on the way back. I think I have to do this. I do lose a life, which is annoying, but I think I have to do this. But if I don't get black mana, or... I mean, if I get one more instant, I'm pretty much good. So I'm hoping I can just block this Mage Hunter and then fall to 1. It's pretty sad that I can't really get my black mana going, which is really important in this type of deck. I'm hoping it just runs out of stuff here. And eventually this can also just block the 6/6. Definitely going to block the Mage Hunter if he attacks with it. I mean, if he can save the Mage Hunter, that's going to be a problem as well. Ooh, Containment Breach. I mean, as long as I can give my creature Flying, I should be fine. Yeah, he can Containment Breach, but Mage Duel is also a problem here. I mean, decent trades, and I have like one more turn, I guess, to find something, which is not looking good for me. Finally, black mana, but it might be just a little bit too late here. Killian can maybe give me some life. I can always just play Arrogant Poet and trade. Fall to 1. Maybe I just need to play Killian here and then trade and gain 2 life so I don't get run over. But yeah, just missing black mana sucks. But hey, our deck was so good we managed to get him down to 6 life. So he's probably just going to use this on the Sparring Regiment, sure. And then I can trade for the servant at least. And then fall up to 6. Maybe find a Rise of Exodus here. Yeah, that's really annoying. We're pretty much dead here, I guess. Pilgrim, I guess. We can Pilgrim and find and maybe do a double block. Or chump. Find the plains. Play land. Yeah, this doesn't look good. I guess I'll cast the Unwilling Ingredient as a random chump blocker. But we're pretty much dead here since missing out on black mana was probably the biggest problem. So I'm probably just going to concede here. I don't think we can win. It's pretty annoying, but whatever. Can't win them all. Alright, thought this was going to get to 7. I mean, it definitely looks like a 7-win deck. But getting a lot of bad luck from some of the matches. I think both of the game. I mean, one of the games I lost was because, of course, the opponent had too much interaction, but this one was just really sad. I had a chance to really go off, but just couldn't draw the black mana in time to play my 2-drops, so I'm hoping I can still get to 7 with this, but definitely a little bit more disappointed than I am. Since this is an easy 7-win deck. But we have a long way to go now, so hopefully, okay, this is okay. No 2-drops, but I mean, we still have a curve of 3-drops here. 3-drop into land, into maybe something else. We'll see. If we have a 1-drop or 2-drop, this would be awesome, but We'll see. Killian. Maybe an Arrogant Poet would be fine. Can always play this on turn 4 to get land for an Allen Shield Mage. Hopefully the opponent doesn't play his own Killian here. Okay, just passes. Alright, there we go. Let's see if Killian can catch a break here. And hopefully no removal spell end of turn, so that was good. Oh wow, nothing? Alright. Pilgrim, okay. That's solid. So the question is, do I just drop the Pledge Mage? The Pledge Mage can be really awesome if I can get an instant off the top, like Guiding Voice. So I guess the makes sense to just play the Pledge Mage since it can just gain flying first. And I can choose between Pledge Mage or Killian to give the Guiding Voice to next turn. Can also Pilgrim into land to guarantee Alden Shield Mage, so that was great. So the Killian top deck definitely going to help this deck out a lot. Feel more inclined to just Guiding Voice on the Pledge Mage and keep the Killian back. Although he's more likely to Necrotic Fumes. Okay, I guess we'll take 2. So now with this attack, I might be more inclined to just use Guiding Voice on Killian. But if I use Guiding Voice on Killian, he can just trade for the Silverquill Pledge Mage. So I feel like it's better to just cast Guiding Voice on the Pledge Mage, I guess. And then that way we can protect Killian. If I put it on the Killian and just attack, I guess that could even be better. But then it's a better target for him than Necrotic Fumes. So I think I like the Silverquill here. And then I want to give it flying, of course. And I guess I can also just grab an Inkling token or expand Anatomy. But again, with a removal spell like Necrotic Fumes, I don't really want to do that. So I think the Inkling summoning is just better. And then we can move to combat, attack for 4. And I guess I want to play the Pilgrim, even though I don't get to draw land. I mean, I'm planning to play the Allen Shield Mage anyways next turn. And then this can at least enable it to fly. It doesn't really attack past the 1/3 anyway, so this is fine. He denies me a land, but it's okay. So if I get to 6 mana, I think I want to Rise maybe the Flyer. Probably looking to exile the Silverquill Pledge Mage. That's reasonable. And he's probably going to stay back so he can double block Killian. And then now I can just drop the Allen Shield Mage, and that's still quite good. Since it can attack past the 1/3, and then this can also become a target for Rise. Might just want to main phase Rise on Strict Proctor then. If he stays back and does nothing, because he can have a number of tricks. Like Beaming Defiance would be the worst, because it can give him Hexproof. I can always still attack with everything. This blocks here, and then, I mean, I can still attack. I mean, he could just use, again, a trick with the Strict Proctor as well, the Allen Shield Mage. He can trade the Pilgrims, maybe, and then Killian can still get him for 2. Lots of interesting things to note. Ooh, Extus. Yeah, that's a scary card. Yeah, I might have to use Rise on of Extus onto Extus here. This is a strange attack as well. I don't mind just trading here. But I mean, with him attacking into the Allen Shield Mage, it is a sign. But this block is okay, I think. It is a sign that he has something with this attack. I'm hoping I can maybe just bait it out. Okay, so that does make me happy. Just Plumb the Forbidden. Okay, with that being said, if he's going to be doing that, I guess I want to just use Rise of Extus onto the Extus here. Because whenever you just cast an instant sorcery, he can just bring back a bunch of stuff in his hand. Yeah, he can just bring back the Strict Proctor anyway, so I think we just Rise of Extus here on the 2/4. And And then we want to get rid of necrotic fumes. And I want to just grab, I guess, Expand Anatomy. And then I can also just cast Expand Anatomy for 1, which is pretty insane. And where do I want to put it? Onto the Island Shield Mage, I guess. Could have also placed it on the 2-1, but I think this is just better. And if he kills this, then he loses 3 life down to 2, and I have Killian as an evasive threat. Inkling Summoning can also help me close out. Yeah, I could have just put 2 counters here and attack with all. Maybe that was better. Not sure. I guess this also counters his Pilgrim, so it's also not that great of a card. So if I attack with all, what happens? He needs to double block this. He can get value blocks by blocking like here and then, I mean, chumping here and maybe trading, but then he's still going to be taking a ton. He's still going to be taking 3. So I think I'm fine attacking with all next turn. And if he has something like an Expel on Killian, he still needs to chump block here, and he'll be taking at least 1 damage. So I think I'm just going to attack with all. I think it's going to be a trick here. Maybe a study break, I don't know. Closing statements, sure. I can Essence Infusion, so that's kind of cute. And then he's forced to double block Killian, and he's just dead here, so... I mean, I can also just Essence Infusion on the Unwilling Ingredients here. And then just attack with all. Since he has 2 man's creatures, he has to double block one of them. So, yeah. Cute deck, but... unfortunately, wasn't enough to get there. Alright, so currently, are we 5-2 still? I guess we're still 5-2, so we still have a long way to go. But I'm hoping we can get to 7 with this. Okay, we have Unwilling Ingredient into Hunt. I mean, it's not that bad, and then Hunt can maybe grab us either some counters or grab us an Inkling Summoning, so I don't hate this. Teamer, alright, Teamer's always scary. Attack for 1. Can cast Hunt, and then next turn we can either cast Inkling Summoning or... yeah, I think I like the Inkling Summoning because it can be kind of awkward if he kills some of my stuff. Pledge Mage, I can hopefully Hunter's Onslaught that. Pretty interesting here. I could play the Inkling, but I might want to set up a Mage Hunter's Onslaught to take out the 2-2 the following turn. So I could actually just play the Campus here, attack for 1, and then play the Chalet here instead. Which I think is just better, because I want to kill this, and it can just get out of hand if I don't kill this. Although, don't think we're double blocking. Can play land. I guess I can attack for 3 with this play, and then maybe set a Rise of Exodus on this later. We can still attack for 2 next turn at least, or maybe 3, and then upgrade the Inkling Summoning token. Sure. Guess I'll take 3, can swing back for 2, and then cast Inkling Summoning. Might want to play Pledge Mage first, actually, since it can fly. And then I might just chump the 3/3, honestly, if it attacks. Frost Trickster, sure. I mean, I don't really have to chump this. Taking 3 is okay, actually. And I'll decide next turn if I want to chump Tome Shredder. Guess that can start growing and become a 3/3. So I might want to Rise on the Tome instead, but Rising here is also not that bad, since it's going to become again a problem in the future. I also don't get to attack though, that's a problem. But yeah, I think I might want to Rise on the 3/3 here, and I guess we can also just get rid of Burying Books, but then he can make a 3/3 here in response. A little bit annoying. Yeah, lifelink, whatever. And then I guess I can put counters on the things. I can also take the Pest Summoning. I mean, Chalet and the Pest Summoning can be kind of cute, actually. Which isn't a bad idea. Expand Anatomy is also kind of cute as well, since I can make this into a 3/3, which can attack 2/2. So maybe we take the Expand Anatomy instead. We're fine taking 5. I'm fine attacking for 1, of course. And then we can see fine chumping this as well. At 12, it could be reasonable. And then I can also just give this lifelink and flying the following turns. Yeah, let's chump. Hopefully nothing. Eye Twitch is okay. Yeah, this is interesting. Might just Inkling Summoning first to see what's up. And get this lifelink. I think he has like a Burying Books or something. Not sure. Move the combat, and I think I'm just gonna attack with both. Maybe a Burying Books. Okay, that's fine, so I get to get this life, and then I do want to cast Chalet, but none of my creatures survive it. But I think I still have to do so just to get the extra flyer on the battlefield, and then we can also bring out an Eye Twitch. That's fine. So this becomes a 4/4, so no good attacks on the ground. I can also trade for this, but there's no reason to when I can swing back with a million flyers. So I guess I can play land, can play Expand Anatomy, and I think I'll put it onto the Eye Twitch. Give this flying. Move the combat, and just swing out with the flyers. And I guess he's just dead here. Yep. Alright. Okay. Alright, so definitely deck that should have at least went 7-1, given the power level. And then here we are to the final boss. Let's make this happen. Get our nice 7-win Silverquill deck. Alright, let's do this. Let's not waste time. Because the more longer we wait, the final boss is just going to get more training reps to take us out, so... But the power of Silverquill is undeniably powerful in this set. Blue is also, again, pretty good, like Quandrix. I think Quandrix is probably the best, and then maybe Silverquill second. I mean, imagine how this hand would be if I had white mana, but I still think I might want to keep this, because I can at least curve out Arrogant Poet onto, and then maybe turn 4 we can play Ambrose. I think I'm going to risk it on a draw. Not sure, but I can easily just lose with this hand, but this is the final boss, so we want to be extra careful. I can also just play Chalet here, which is fine. And then I can make like a 3/2 Arrogant Poets, not sure. So what can I do here? I could just cast Arrogant Poets. If I cast Chalet, next turn I can make this into a 3-2. I can also just trade the Arrogant Poet with this. I mean, a 3-2 isn't going to block into a Inkling Summoning that well, so maybe I'm fine playing this first and just trading. And then next turn I might just play Chalet. And then I can have a pretty large Combat Professor as well. Like, a trade here is totally fine, since I don't want to fall too far behind. And if he wants a Guiding Voice, that's also fine. Just to learn. Yeah, the block here is happening. So glad I actually played around it. Yeah, I don't mind Chalet here. Like, sure, I can play him as a 4-4, but just playing this on curve is nice with, like, a Combat Professor. I can still attack for 2 and tap this. But he's most likely just going to cast an Inkling Summoning, I have to imagine. Mage Hunters, wow. Sure. So I want to maybe lead with a Spectre Fence. Since I can always Combat Professor, give it Vigilance. Pledge Mage, okay. I mean, Hunt into the Inkling token actually isn't that bad. So I think I like that more. I can also grab Expand Anatomy. But I like the Inkling because it can trade for the 3-1. Attacking for 2 here is fine as well. And then at least we can play the Inkling token. This might force him to give this flying, and then I can still trade for it. And this card can be a bit of a problem if I don't deal with it, so. Pledge Mage, okay. Guess we'll be trying to chip in with flyers here, can play lands. I do like the Combat Professor here. I could also just Rise, but I think the combat could be better. And then I want to give this Vigilance, right? Although maybe the 2-1 of Vigilance was better, not sure. I think this is okay. So you go. Yeah, maybe I should have given this Vigilance because I'm more likely to want to trade just Silverquill Pledge Mage for this. Stark People is very medium. Okay, just curving out here, nothing too exciting. Sparring Regiment, that's a complete bomb. Okay, let's go for it. Yeah, this is just broken. So let's grab the Expand Anatomy, play land, and I think we want to enhance the 2-1 token, right? Move to combat. Give this Vigilance as well. Attack with all. And then I think we want to put a counter onto, I guess, the 3-4. He can give this lifelink. Now, he's pretty much dead here next turn if he doesn't find a board wipe. Since I have multiple lethal threats in the air, and Sparring Regiment is just gonna get him for lethal, even if I plan something different with the Combat Professor. So, cute Mardu deck opponent, but definitely not going to beat mine. And I have 2 Rise of Exodus. He can go blank me here and maybe gain life, I guess, and maybe play something, but I still have lethal in the air, so it's pretty much game over. So, just not waste time, opponents. You're not going to get there unless you have a board wipe. And even then, I can always Rise to get some pest tokens back, so. This deck is just really gross. Should have gotten 7 and 1 really, but sure. I guess we can just give this lifelink. Yeah, I guess we'll chump it. So he gains 8 life. I mean, the chump isn't that bad, and then we can just take it on the way back because I don't really want to trade here. So he's still dead either way. I mean, it's just not good at all. Yeah, it's just good games either way. It's not wasting more time, guys. Yep. We can also drain him for extra. So yeah, this was pretty much a severe beating. And I'm not against 3 colors, but that was definitely an awkward type of deck. Sometimes I guess you have to just go 3 colors to find filler playables, but really I think just sticking with 2 colors here in this set, especially in an aggro deck, is just a lot better. Like I would most likely splash into more controlling decks, like maybe Prismari splash Lore Hole cards, or end up in Quandrix splashing splashing Witterbloom cards or Prismari cards. Like you can sure be in an okay Mardu mid range deck, but overall it's just not a very good strategy, and it's definitely not as strong as the blue colors when it comes to doing 3 colors. So yeah, not a bad 7-win deck. Almost got completely owned, but as you can see, we had some powerful bombs like Sparring Regiment and the Chalet or Embros, i.e. Embros, which came down, which pretty much stole some games. There's also Killian, which was also fantastic. Hunt, Guiding Voice, doing a lot of work finding our learn cards, which are great. So yeah, not a bad 7-win Silverquill deck. Let's hit done. Basically take a snapshot of the 7-win for our thumbnail, claim our prize, and then pretend we're drafting some Silverquill. I mean, not Silverquill, Strixhaven here. And let's see. Pack 1, pick 1, pretend we're drafting Strixhaven. Yeah, Sparring Regiment, just a complete bomb. Like, Lorehold is pretty bad, but with Sparring Regiment, like, it's possible to also just stay flexible and draft an aggressive Lorehold deck, and it's going to be quite busted with a card like Sparring Regiment. If Regiment was in this pack, easy closing statement as a strong removal spell. Other good commons include Eureka Moment. Oft is also quite good if you have Quandrix Pledge Mages and ways to trigger them to attack, but probably take Sparring Regiment here. Yeah, Elite Spellbinder is a complete bomb as well. And yeah, what's this? Paulo, Vito, or Domino, the Rosa, World Champion. Yeah, this card's fantastic since even if the Elite Spellbinder dies, the card will stay in exile, and then it still costs 2 more to cast. And just being a 3/1 evasive flyer is kind of like a must answer as well. And you can also just get a lot of info from the opponent's hand, so definitely first pick over Mage Hunter's Onslaught, which is fine removal as well. Cauldron's a terrible rare, don't take it. D-Spark can be pretty good in the Silverquill decks, since, you know, it's really efficient at 2 mana, exiling something. But although it's 2 mana exile something, it doesn't deal with tokens, that's a problem, and it can only deal with CMC 4 or greater, so it can be kind of awkward. Definitely happy seeing this if I was drafting Quandrix. Drafting Silverquill, but I wouldn't first pick this necessarily since it's kind of a situational. Definitely very strong. Probably first pick Fractal Summoning since it can just fit in multiple decks. Great lesson to learn up. Wormhole Serpent can also be quite decent. I would probably still take D-Spark over Wormhole Serpent, but not over Fractal Summoning. Pestilent Cauldron, pretty bad rare. So yeah, lesson today. I would actually draft Lorehold over Witterbloom in this set. Okay, Leonin Light Scribe is a bomb. Otherwise, Heated Debates would probably be my second pick, and then Killian as a third. Gross Bar is also fantastic in the Quandrix decks, but I still want to stay open taking these other cards. And yeah, Killian is also pretty absurd if you can get the right Silverquill deck together, but probably still take Heated Debate since it keeps me the most flexible. But Leonin Light Scribe is a bomb. Gonna take the Mythic Uncommon Bookworm here over Inkling Summoning, which is great in Silverquill. But I might as well just if I draft black in the set, I might as well just force Silverquill, again, given how bad Witterbloom is, but Bookworm is just a bomb. If you can splash this in a Prismari late game control deck, or ramp with a Quandrix deck, this card can just get out of hand. There's also Teachings of the Archaics, good lesson to grab, but I wouldn't first pick it over Inkling Summoning or Bookworm. Okay, take an Eliminate here as good removal. Other good commons include Guiding Voice and Eureka Moment. Study Breakers can also be decent, but they tend to go late. Learn cards are all pretty good by themselves. I mean, some learn cards are pretty bad, like the First Day in School, but they're not. But they have decent utility and value. Like this still taps 2 creatures down, and you still learn and grab a lesson, so it's quite a strong card. But Guiding Voice is probably just way better. since it's more cheaper to do, and then just enhancing a creature can to enable it to attack past something is quite good, especially on the flyer. This card is quite strong, but probably still take Eliminate as a good removal spell. And there you guys have it. Our 7-win Silverquill draft video, finally drafting something different than the blue colleges. But yeah, might just fire off a sealed video as the next video since the open is starting pretty soon. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this content, and thank you very much for watching, and yeah, stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.